Alright folks, and welcome to the channel. And in this video we're going to look at mixing a song with absolutely free plugins. So let's check this out. So these multi-tracks, this song, this track, this multi-tracks, whatever you want to call them, they're part of the Glenn Fricker course on his new SM digital platform, website, whatever you want to call it. As part of that course, he's done some bits and bobs with some free plugins. So I thought I'd try these, or some of the free plugins out that he was using. So before we dive down and take a quick look at what we've used, let's have a quick listen to the track. So there's part of the track. So yeah, some of you may notice here I'm using the Hell Beast. Now I was using this track to test the Hell Beast out, and then I decided to go with these free plugins to try and mix it just to see what these plugins did. So the actual free bit is the actual mix plugins. It's not the full thing like I did on a previous video where I used free amp sims, free drum VSTs, etc, etc. This is just the actual mixing plugins. So as you can see, we're using this loader plugin from Analog Obsession. I'll put a link to his Patreon page down in the description where you can download this and one or two of the other plugins I'm using in this. Now this is like an SSL sort of style console plugin, if you will. So you've got a preamp, you've got a de-esser, gate, there's your EQ, compression, and your main output. And when it's white, that means that you're using that particular channel strip, and if it's greyed out or blacked out, then it's not being used. So the drums, these are all real drums, no samples put in here at all. We've got a couple of, in fact actually we've got 3 kicks, and as you see I've got nothing on the main kicks. What I've done is I've put them to a kick submix. So on there I've got the loaded, and I've got the gate, EQ and some compression. Now originally I did use the fat channel on this for the pteq-x technique. This isn't necessarily free. You can get it free every now and again as part of PreSonus when you buy different PreSonus plugins and different packs. So what I decided to use is the Ignite Amps free version, and after that I have got the Lanmax Limiter in there as well. So these are what the kicks sound like on their own. Now as you can hear, so you've still got a bit of that snare coming through, which I don't actually mind. I don't actually mind a little bit of bleed from the snare. Let's hear what it sounds like without any of the plugins on altogether. Quite a decent snare sound. And with the loaded on, still getting a little bit of that snare bleed coming through, which I don't actually mind at all. And then with the pteq-x, and then the Lanmax, just to bring it up a little bit more. And then on the snares, it's same again. We've got a couple of different snares, a snare top and a snare bottom, and I'm just using the loading on this, the gate, the EQ and the compression, and without that on it sounds a little bit like this. Let me just switch that reverb off as well. and with the loaded on. Still getting a little bit of bleed from the cymbals, but not too much. We've taken that out. And then on the main drum submix, I'm just using the loaded, and all I'm doing on there is just a bit of EQ, not adding any compression at this moment in time. Now, as you can see, I've got loaded up on all the other tracks on there, on the toms as well, done them individually as I normally do. Same with the overheads, cymbals, what we've got there on the fat channel. I'm just using the standard EQ and compressor on there just to tame some of the extreme high end on the room mic. Cymbals submix is my standard setup. Yeah, it's the inbuilt EQ. Every DAW's got a built-in EQ, so I thought I'd just leave this as it was. So we've got standard EQ and my standard compression on there for the cymbals, and then the drums and the cymbals mixers are going to a drum distortion. So I'm using the red line. This is the inbuilt saturation program, distortion program from inbuilt into Studio One from PreSonus. It's pretty damn good. And the compressor I'm using is the Rough Rider 3 from Audio Damage. That is excellent. I've used this on a number of productions, and I thought I'd go for the sort of New York compression. So I've got the Rough Rider, and then we're just boosting at 95 Hertz, and again boosting at 8K. And I've got a couple of reverbs going off here, so I'm using the inbuilt room reverb for snares and toms. I did have a look at these two from Dragonfly, but I just preferred the inbuilt one from PreSonus. And then I've got a second shorter reverb for just for snares, and yeah, that's the Dragonfly room, and I quite like that one. And then on the drums stem, I'm using this Brick Channel 46. I was going to use the same one on the fat channel, but same again. This is, I can't 100% sure if this comes free with the fat channel or whether it's an extra purchase. So I thought I'll try this Brick Channel out. This is also again from Analog Obsession, and it's a 1073 style EQ, which I've started using a lot on my drums. So we've got that just in sort of standard sort of configurations there. So I've taken a bit out there at 700 Hertz and just putting a bit of a boost in at the top end, which I think is around about 10K. We've got a high pass filter in there at 50 Hertz, and then we're boosting at 60 Hertz just to get that kick coming through. And then I've just got a little bit of limiting going off as well. So the drums altogether sound like this. I think they sound pretty cool. Now, bass wise, roughly similar to what I normally do anyway. So this first bass track, take all the processing off this was using the parallax with the CLA 76 anyway, so I didn't need to use any bass amp sims on this one, and without any processing on it sounds like this. Yeah, pretty beefy. So what we've got on there, we've just got some EQ just to take a bit of that low end rumble off, and all the harsh and stuff at the top end, and all I'm doing is just putting a mid scoop in there just to get shut of the honkiness of the bass. And then same again, I was using the tube compressor, but same again, I think that is not 100% free. So the compressor I decided to use was this MJU CJR from Klanghelm. Like I say, same again, I'll put links to all these in the description. So with the compressor on, it sounds like this. And then after that, we've got the Lanmax Limiter. I use this on a lot of productions anyway, and all this is just to tame the peaks down on the bass guitar. If you notice, we get about negative 3 dB of gain reduction on there. On the second bass, this was just a DI track, and I sort of treated this similar to what I normally treat bass DIs, or the secondary bass DIs, when I'm doing my own stuff. Yeah, sounds a bit unappealing. So we've got some EQ on there. What I'm doing is just sort of concentrating on the honky mid-range. And then after that, we've got a flanger in, which I use quite a lot on bass, just to add extra grit in there. And it's same again, I was using this originally, I was using this tube comp, but I thought I'd use the Klanghelm again. And then same again, just using the Lanmax Limiter. And then on the bass submix, using this loaded again, sort of a similar type of thing what I do with the Sheps. So I'm using a bit of a preamp, some EQ and some compression, and together they sound like this. And then on the bass stem, my standard sort of EQ on there, just a bit of a low shelf in there, and I just around about 2.5K, 2.4K. I found was annoying me a little bit, so I took that out. And same again, just a bit of limiting on there. On the main rhythm tracks, the LB sounded like this. To start off with, just using some EQ in there, just to take that sort of chugginess at that mid-range, and just a couple of frequencies that would annoy me. That was all I got on there. So with the EQ on, did try using the rear comp for, you know, that sort of Andy Sneap trick. I wasn't happy with the results on that. I was happy with the results I was getting from the channel strip, inbuilt channel strip in Studio One, but then I decided to try the multi-band compressor, inbuilt multi-band compressor in Studio One, and it sounds like this. I did try the TD Nova as well, and it was same again. I wasn't 100% happy with the results, so I stuck with the multi-band compressor in Stereo One. And with the fat channel, I was using the pteq-x technique on the fat channel, but same again, it's not 100% free. You don't want me to repeat myself on that one, so I decided to use the Ignite Amps one instead. So we've got a boost in there at 30 Hz and another one at 16, just to bring a bit of air back into the rhythm guitars. Now on the lead guitars, all I've got going on there is just some EQ in there, just to keep it out of the way of the rhythm guitars, and everything else got a send going off there to a leads delay, and all I'm using there is the inbuilt analog delay in Studio One, with a little bit of EQ in there just to take that sort of really nasty top end off. And on the guitar's stem, using the inbuilt EQ from Studio One, I was happy with how everything was sounding, so I didn't take anything out, and then just a little bit of limiting on there. Now on the master track, I'm using the Fiverr EQ from another one from Analog Obsession in there. All I'm doing in there is just putting a bit of a 4 dB boost in at 12k just to open things up, just to bring a bit of air into things. And then I'm using, this is like a saturation plugin from Klanghelm. This is what they call it, the IVG i2, and yeah, just using that for a bit of tape saturation. And then this is again from Analog Obsession. This is like an SSL style bus compressor, and we're just sort of looking to hit that 4 dB mark there. I think it should be around about there. Let's have a look. So yeah, just had to slightly just have, yeah, 3.5 4 dBs of compression in there. Sort of standard sort of setting. Some people do the ratio at 2:1, some at 4:1. That's all down to personal preference. And then just for a bit of loudness, we've got the Lanmax Limiter in there again, as this is not being, but apart from this video, it's not being released by me. I was using the just to check my LUFS reading, just to get around about 12, using the free version of Uline loudness meter. Yeah, there's a paid version as well. There's a free and a pro version. I just use this just to check my mixers and masters. So what I'll do now is play the full track so you can hear the full thing as it is mixed up, and then we'll come back to you. Right, so there you go folks, that's a mix I've done using absolutely nothing but mixing with free plugins. I think it sounds pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with the results I've got here. Like I say, I'm going to leave links to all these plugins down in the description, leave links to the websites, and yeah, let me know what you guys think down there in those comments. Might be down there, yeah, whatever. Yeah, let me know what you think, and that's all for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Right folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media, and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe, and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.